Welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. I'm Chris McGee, the Hall of Famer. Shadow boxing to my left is big game James Worthy, a seven-time champion, 7-0 in the finals. He was never in a play-in game. Robert Horry.
Almost.
Big shot. We got the whole gang. We got Brez here. We got Allie. We got Trudell. We're going to have a lot of fun because I know you guys love playoffs. And this is like a Game 7 kind of, all right? So let's look at the playoff brackets in the Western Conference big game. So everyone is up to speed in what's going on. You got Memphis and San Antonio. Memphis started out with about a 23-point lead. San Antonio has closed the gap. That's 56-49. Now, the winner of that game plays the loser of our game tonight, Lakers and Warriors. The loser of that game is done for the season. Utah's up at the 1 spot. Phoenix is down at the bottom in the 2. The Suns will play the winner of Lakers Warriors. So it's all set up. Here we are, big game. Time to embrace the matchup that the NBA and the rest of the world is absolutely elated about. Warriors Lakers. It's going to be fun. It's got that vibe already.
Yeah, a little history there with LeBron and Steph Curry in the finals in the past. And also the way the Warriors have, started playing, the last month or so with Steph Curry leading the way.
Yeah.
I do think the Lakers have fared well against them in the past with and without AD. And I sincerely think our guards are going to be enough to, I'm not going to say stop Steph Curry, but I think between, Schroeder, Caruso, Matthews, Pope, throw Tucker in there with his size, I think they're going to be able to contain him a little bit, maybe, wear him down by the fourth quarter. So I'm not so worried. The Warriors are not the same team we've seen in the past. And I think the Lakers can dominate if they play the right way. If they go inside, dominate, still the #1 defensive team in the league, do all the things that they've done in the past against them, it shouldn't be a difficult win, I don't think.
Rob, it's not do or die, but it does have that Game 7 feel. And if you do win this one, you do get some time off. Mm-hmm. That's an extra few days is nice, right?
Yes, that's an extra incentive, right, to go out and play well. And it is a do or die game.
Yeah.
Because we always talk about the brackets. And if you look at this bracket that the Lakers could get in, it's a perfect bracket to get back to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do. You want an easy bracket. And that's no dig at anybody in the league. It's about matchups. And James just mentioned, our guards match up with anybody in the guard in league, in any of the guards in the league. But the thing about that is our bigs are great at double teaming guys. They are great at forcing them to pick the ball up and move because AD can guard guards. And the way Gasol traps on those traps when they're coming out of that pick and roll is tremendous. And we don't even talk about Drummond. You see how low Drummond gets? He gets his hands on a lot of deflections. So I'm excited for this game. I think this is perfect matchup for the guys to move on and be in the 7th spot.
Big Game mentioned LeBron and Steph. 4 years of competing in the NBA Finals. It's a lot like you guys with the Celtics back in the day when it was Cavs and Warriors, little Larry and Magic. The rivalry is just natural, James, when you play in those kind of games. And here we are a few years later. But the excitement and aura that they still provide in this kind of environment, it's still their show.
Yeah, it didn't matter who the supporting cast was when it was Magic and Bird, as long as it was Magic and Bird. So, yeah, you got to have stories that come up. Both are great leaders. Both have been MVPs. So quite naturally, people are going to remember the stories and all the games that they've had. So here we are again in the unique situation of playing game where you have those two superstars. Unfortunately, Steph doesn't have Clay or the supporting cast that LeBron has, but still, it's still Steph and LeBron.
When you talk about guys who've owned this league in the last 10 to 15 years, is these two guys.
Yeah.
You think about it, they won so many championships between them. LeBron been to the championship 9 years in a row.
Steph was there 5 years in a row.
Steph was there 5 years in a row. Think about it. These guys pretty much own the league. So to see them going up against each other right now is like, wow.
In a one-off, too, by the way,
in a one-off. It just makes you want to go, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no
excited.
build up to Game 6. This is one game.
This is Game 7.
It's pretty fun. All right, Lakers finished 2-1 versus the Warriors this season with a plus 18 differential in those wins. Tip-off coming up at the top of the hour. Now for more on tonight's play-in tournament matchup, let's check in with Lakers reporter Mike Trudell. He's standing by at Staples Center. Mike, how we doing?
What's up, guys? Welcome downtown. Well, Geeter, look, it seems like almost every time I started one of these Frank Vogel press conferences, it was about who's in, who's out. Not today, buddy. Everybody's available. Literally, everybody that he would want to put in the game, of course, headlined by LeBron and AD, are available, and they will start their typical lineup. As such, I wanted to ask him about Golden State, and everything is focused, it seems like, on Steph Curry, and for understandable reasons, right? He's been taking 17 threes per game in May. But Draymond Green also really important on that end, as well on defense. So here's Frank Vogel talking about Draymond and his importance.
On both sides of the ball, Draymond is a huge part of what they do. Very, very disruptive defensively, guarding any position. And, obviously his ability to play make, at the power forward position or small ball center position drives their engine, So, obviously we have to pay him a great deal of respect.
Now, Frank, just what degree of LeBron's knowledge of Steph and Draymond from the previous battles, how much does that come into play for you as a team, and how much kind of carries over from the traditional Warriors way of playing?
Yeah, there's a lot of carryovers, a lot of similarities, to the way they play, in particular with Draymond and Steph, but also with some of the others playing like Draymond and playing like, quite frankly, playing like Clay. They use their principles, to operate or to execute their system. And, they've gotten very good at it throughout the course of this year. I think each month that's gone by, they've gotten better and better at it, and see what they're doing in the last month or so. So, it's very challenging to guard, and, we're going to have to play great to beat them.
And then, Frank, how much of your rotation at the 5 do you have an idea, like pre-planned, versus, okay, this is how they're playing and we have to adjust with the various options?
I always have a script of what I intend to do with the mindset that, be willing to adjust, and obviously be willing to adjust quickly in a one-game play-in type of situation. So, we have it scripted out, but we'll be willing to adjust.
Bill Orm?
Frank, I'll just cut to the chase. Is Drummond starting at center?
Yes.
And then the other question being, how close to full strength do you think LeBron is at this point after, everything?
Yeah, it's a tough question. I would say he's not full strength, but he's getting there. And, it's really tough for me to put a number on it or a percent or anything like that. He looked pretty good in the last 2 games, but, obviously we would have loved to have a couple more weeks to get him where he wants to be.
All right, and Geeter, hopefully the answer there, too, is just kind of close enough, right? We saw how LeBron was moving in that last back-to-back. He said the ankle is feeling okay, and it also helps that AD is looking about as close as he has to 100% health since last year in the bubble. So should be a fun one here tonight at Staples, bud.
Have fun, Mike. Can't wait, man. Appreciate it. Plenty more ahead here on Access Sportsnet Lakers as we look inside Staples Center. Kenny Pope was steady against the Warriors this season, 9 points per game on 50% from deep. You figure that. He will be asked to defend Steph at some point tonight. That may be his biggest.
Ooh, these last 5 games, Allie, he is on a roll. He is 4 letters for you, B-A-C-K. He is back. We got the numbers to prove it to you. Producer Drew put this together. He's had a good little run, 28, 9, and 4 over the last 5. Allie, the one that did it for me was 10 days ago against Phoenix. They were number 2 in the West at the time. No LeBron in that game, no Schroeder in that game. No problem for AD. 42 points, tons of rebounds, plenty of assists that night as well. That showed me that he is on the way up. And no doubt he'll be a big factor for the Lakers, not just tonight, but going forward from here. The other thing I liked about him yesterday, in his media session after practice, he spoke to the reporters and he said, I am fully healthy. I feel great. As a matter of fact, he revealed that it was great for him to sit out those 2 months. And you don't want to sit out ever because of an injury, but he compared it to like a mini offseason. He was able to kind of heal himself up. He looks great. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. No, and I think we'll see him at times tonight playing the 5. So what does that mean for the other Lakers centers?
Oh, good segue. Very nicely done. Yeah, no doubt about it. It's going to be interesting to see what the Lakers do. And Frank Vogel has kind of hinted that, indeed, Andre Drummond will start tonight. Lakers are not going to change up their lineup. But what if the small ball of the Warriors kind of forces them out of that? It'll be really interesting to see if AD does indeed play the 5. The Warriors, the opposite of the Lakers. Not a lot of big men there. James Weissman went down with a season-ending meniscus injury last month. He was their only 7-footer. So you got 6'9" Kevon Looney. You've got the 6'6" Draymond. You've got Jordan Bell, also kind of an undersized big. Meanwhile, the Lakers, we know they got plenty of centers. We'll see what Frank Vogel does. You assume he wants to impose his will on the small ball Warriors. Let's take a look at it later.
Kerr did just say pregame that Looney will start.
There you go.
So you have him and Draymond.
Okay.
Think about that attack. How about the attack that Dennis Schroeder must have when you think of a guy like Steph Curry?
Yeah. Now, this is a big matchup, no doubt about it. All right. First of all, Schroeder's third game back from his 2-week break because of health and safety protocols. He's got to play some defense, no doubt about it. And good news for him, he has been playing good defense the entire season. He is 34th, excuse me, in the entire league in a stat called defensive win share. What is that? It's basically how you do one-on-one as a defender. 34th out of 500 NBA players. That's pretty special right there. So yeah, he's got to distribute. He's got to hit some threes, but he's also got to play against Steph. No doubt KCP will be part of that too, and Caruso at some point. Good news for the Lakers. They've done okay against Steph. I'm going to say this very quietly, Allie. Held him below his average. He's only averaging about 24 points against the Lakers this season, shooting about 42%. You see the 3 games there. He was not that good in their victory on the 18th of January. But, yeah, a couple games where he was under 40%. The Lakers definitely want to repeat that tonight, no doubt.
Good numbers there. The good silver lining for Dennis Schroeder being out for that time. He said he now feels fresh. He got the rest.
A lot of fresh guys right now.
Well done, as always.
Another game and go after each other and for something that means something is always fun. These two guys have been dominating the league for the past decade. You know, LeBron a little bit longer. But it's going to be an exciting game. And, you know, both of these guys are going to bring their A game and they're going to lead and bring their guys behind them. So I'm really looking forward to tonight.
Two incredible superstar players. Going to go down in history. Those two first names, Steph and LeBron, will define this generation. Like Russell and Wilt, Magic and Larry. It's Steph and LeBron. And here we go. Not quite a full playoff series, but a lot at stake. A lot of rivalry renewed. So we're going to see, I think, you know, Steph's going to be Steph. LeBron will be LeBron. Which role players support their superstar tonight is going to be a big determining factor.
Well, let's hear from LeBron James on Stephen Curry after this full screen stats line here, head-to-head career stats. In the playoffs, Curry is 15-7 against LeBron James in playoff games, 22-16 overall. LeBron with the slightly better numbers, but Steph Curry with the advantage of where it matters. In the win column, more wins against LeBron James. He'll look to make that number 23 tonight against the LA Lakers. But let's hear from LeBron James on Stephen Curry because he believes Steph Curry has been the best player in basketball this season.
I don't know anything else. If you're looking for MVP, if Steph is not on Golden State's team, then you know, what are we looking at? You know, and we get caught up in the record sometimes. We get caught up in okay, who has the best record, and you know, instead of just saying who had the best season that year. And Steph has had, in my opinion, the best season all year. And obviously, I don't think Steph is going to get it because, you know, it's another conversation. But in my eyes, he's played the best basketball all year round.
Obviously, I'm appreciative of, he knows when he says something, people pay attention. So for him to speak on my MVP candidacy is definitely, I respect him for it. I appreciate it. We all know as competitors, though, when the lights are on, I can talk about how great he is till I'm blue in the face, and he can do the same. Doesn't change how we approach, you know, that competition when we're out there. And I won't be giving him a pass because he likes the way I played this year, and vice versa. So it's great for the entertainment value of what we do, and I kind of love the chatter because it's hilarious and it's awesome all at the same time. But it'll make for a good show tomorrow.
Let's bring in our Warriors insider here at NBC Sports Bay Area, powered by Cisco WebEx, Monty Poole. Monty, good evening. We finally got Lakers and Warriors again in the playoff matchup. Play-in, one game, not even elimination. I don't even know where we're going here with the play-in, but it is Lakers and Warriors. We haven't seen this in a postseason type of atmosphere since 1991, and you get Steph and LeBron James, the next chapter of this rivalry here. But I like what Curry said there, Monty. He's not taking the okie doke. LeBron James wants to destroy Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors tonight.
Oh, no doubt about it. That's the way these two guys compete against each other. It has been that way since 2015. So you look at what LeBron has done over the course of his career, obviously first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the all-time great players in the NBA history. And you look at what Steph Curry has done over the course of his career, another first ballot Hall of Famer, all-time great player in the league's history. And they've seen each other so often to where they know each other's mindsets. They know what it takes to beat each other. The question is whether they can actually do it when it counts in a game like this, because these guys are accustomed to playing for the ultimate stakes, championships. And right now they're looking at vying for the 7 seed. So it's kind of a weird sort of a scenario, but that's what they have. There are a lot of factors behind why those two teams are where they are, mostly injuries. But the NBA, man, you know, these people are in the NBA offices in New York. When they saw this matchup on Sunday, they were like, yes, yes, yes. Give us more, give us more. And I'm sure they wish they could have like 5 of these games or 7 of these games right now. But it's a one-game series, and one team will go to 7, and the other team will be playing on Friday night.
Hey, Monty, the NBA's happy. We're happy here at NBC Sports Bay Area. Business is booming tonight. Well, you know who else is it's booming for? It's JTA. He's been going to the cash register, getting his new NBA deal. Congrats to JTA. But this is his first playoff game. And you know JTA is fired up for a moment like this. Talk about JTA for a second and what he has to do to match the Lakers role players here in their intensity at Staples tonight.
Yeah, there's nobody on the Warriors bench that fills as many roles as JTA does. I mean, he guards 1 through 5. You know, on one end, you might see him guarding a big man. You might see him against Drummond or Gasol or Anthony Davis. And then next time you look around, he's defending maybe KCP coming up the court, or maybe he's defending Caruso. That's just who he is. And the thing about JTA that makes him, I think, special in a situation like this is that, you know what? He's been around the world playing basketball. And guys like that don't really fear the quote-unquote big moment. I expect him to play well. I don't expect to see nerves. Yeah, he's excited. He said that. But I expect him to play like a veteran tonight, because that's what he's been doing all season, use his intellect and use his ability. And I think he might surprise some people tonight.
All right, Monty, enjoyed the game tonight. We'll talk to you a little bit later as we continue to talk some JTA, but still to come. We'll head over to the big board to break down Anthony Davis, why small ball could be the Browns tonight. But first, let's talk more JTA, Monty, not GTA. I'm thinking of Grand Theft Auto, the video game. Where's my mind at right now? Monty. Let's say Monty. Darrell knew where I was going there. But Monty, man, this is an exciting moment for him. He's got to match Montrezl Harrell's intensity. He's got to match Gasol's energy. He's got to match Kuzma's intensity. Darrell, it's a big night for JTA.
It's a big night for JTA. It's a big night for that whole bench. This is a veteran team they're playing against, especially guys coming off that bench. So they have to be prepared. We know the Lakers, veteran players and bench players are battle tested. So I think it's going to be super important for JTA to come out there, bring energy, do what he does, and play within the system.
And play to your strengths. Stay away from your weaknesses. Last 20 games, Steve Kerr's gone to an 8-man rotation. So those 3 guys off the bench, including Juan T. Play to your strengths. Play the game just the way you've been playing the last 20 games. You'll be fine.
No doubt. A couple threes here, rebounds, assists. JTA can do it all for the Golden State Warriors. So we'll continue to talk about him. But up next, we'll talk about playoff day.
Into our NBA TV studios, Playoff Central Live is brought to you by Toyota. I'm Kristen Ledlow, alongside our Steve Smith.
What are all these people doing on this set?
I know.
I like it.
I'm used to looking behind me, seeing another person in the back.
Everybody's back.
I get the chance to talk to you now, Sam.
Yeah, how you doing?
Kristen's back.
It's exciting.
Yes, the new mom glowing. Look at you.
Thank you.
Look like a brand new $100 bill.
Sweating / glowing. Thank you.
You're not sweating.
Well, we are going to be with you for the next, hour and a half leading up to tonight's play-in tournament. And then we're going to be with you all night long for post-game coverage with coaches and players after each game. Now, the Warriors did win the first meeting between these two back in January. As we look at the matchup between these two teams, they won by 2 points. The Lakers then won the next two in February and in March. Now, the Lakers have outscored the Warriors by, more than 18 points in those 3 games, and our Allie LaForce has more on this matchup.
You can have the trophy, you can have the king, you can even have Anthony Davis. But one thing you cannot ignore is the fact that a 7th and an 8th seed have never hoisted a championship trophy. The struggle to repeat is real for the Lakers. That's why they're laying it all on the line for this do-or-die night.
We can't afford to lose this game. I'm pretty sure they're thinking the same thing, even though it's, double elimination. We definitely want to get in that 7th seed, and so you get a couple of days off to really lock in on your opponent and get a couple more practice days in to tighten our screws.
Back from when Steph led the league in scoring in 2015, 2016 to now, what has brought you the most joy in the way he creates and has evolved at his age?
His leadership, Allie, is probably the biggest difference. And now he recognizes that
they picked up Drummond because it reignited him. So when you look at this game tonight, man, anything can happen. I would expect the Lakers with their size and their championship to defend, and the fact that what this would do to LeBron James' legacy if he loses in the play-in game and he's been chasing Michael Jordan as the GOAT. There is no way he can have that conversation if he loses his game tonight. Because you know what people are going to say. First of all, Mike wouldn't have never been in that position. And second, if he was, he would have scored 60 if he had to win that game. But this isn't exactly a win or advance, lose and go home scenario either. This is an opportunity to either secure the 7th seed or play another game.
But you got to play again. I think
that's the key. You got to play again.
Me and Sam on the same page. You got to go in that mindset going home.
Yeah, that's the only way you can approach it.
And I think also to add, LeBron is 36. I retired at 36. I'm still amazed he looks like he's 26, playing at an unbelievable level. What I saw him endure during the bubble, that's not ordinary.
Steph is the same age as I am, and I try and jog a lap around the neighborhood.
And I'm looking at
watching what Steph's doing. Like, are you kidding me?
If I would have been out,
y'all are old. That's why. I played until I was 40.
Yeah.
And I just look at how he's come back from injury, LeBron, that last game. I said, there's no rust. I mean, there's some timing things, but there's no rust. That's just a commitment to how he still loves the game, how much he still wants to win, and what he was doing while he was out. I take my hat off to him.
You did say, though, Sam, that a lot changed depending upon the lineup that the Lakers did put on the floor all season long. Before, after Anthony Davis.
And he was just so average, though, to start the season. After how he played in the bubble, and then the way he started the season, he was just so average.
Do you think, though, as you look at these numbers, just in the last 5 games, that AD's back to being AD?
Yes. He's back to what he was in the bubble. That's what's scary. And the thing about it, he's rested. Think about all the games he and LeBron that missed. Yeah, they had injuries, but they don't have the wear and tear on the legs. And more importantly, their mind is fresh. They're hungry to play. Everybody, did you see Charlotte last night? Charlotte just looked like it was just a struggle. They would look like they were physically and mentally beat up. The Lakers' 2 best players, they're fresh. They're ready to go. They're mentally fresh. You think about Golden State, look at the war that they've been through this year. Look at all the tough games. Look what Steph has had to do. And then you telling Steph you got to do it again tonight, or if it don't work tonight, you got to come back another day from now and do it again to try to make the playoffs. I just think it's just too much. And like Smitty said, you got to have a one-and-done mentality tonight. You worry about what happens after the game. But going into this game, you got to convince yourself that if we lose tonight, our season's over.
Well, we're going to talk a lot about LeBron and AD, but if we talk about Steph, we've got to bring up Draymond as well. And check out this crazy stat. He became the first player in NBA history to play at least 30 games in a season and finish with more rebounds and assists than points scored. Smitty, you've talked at length about the value that is Draymond Green, but what does this stat say to you?
I think this is one of his better years because, as we all know, when you have KD and Klay Thompson, his points, you look at it and say, we don't need his points. And then he was struggling offensively, but he put his mark on defensively. And I was really looking at the job he did when Wiseman went down. Even though Wiseman was a rookie, that was size and length. Draymond was playing a lot more 5 when Wiseman went down, and he never complains. And then also he's going to average almost 9 assists, and they are in the playoffs. No, we don't have play-in. They are in the playoffs. It is remarkable what he's doing. He's excited. He wants this challenge. And I can tell as it got closer and closer to the end of the season, they were going to be in the playoffs, his energy started to go up. He is looking forward to this game so much. The Warriors feel they can win. They feel they can win.
They better.
And I know Draymond feels he can win, and I can't wait to see the matchup with him, Drummond, AD, because he's going to compete and come out there and play extremely hard. Keep your emotions, because he can get emotional.
I wonder where he learned.
That they picked up Drummond because it reignited him. So when you look at this game tonight, man, anything can happen. I would expect the Lakers with their size and their championship to defend, and the fact that you know what this would do to LeBron James' legacy if he loses in the playing game and he's been chasing Michael Jordan as the GOAT, there is no way he can have that conversation if he loses his game tonight. Because you know what people are going to say. First of all, Mike wouldn't have never been in that position. And second, if he was, he would have scored 60 if he had to win that game.
But this isn't exactly a win or advance, lose, and go home scenario either. This is an opportunity to either secure the 7th seed or, play another game.
But you got to play again. I think
that's the key. You got to play again.
Me and Sam on the same page. You got to go in that mindset going home.
Yeah, that's the only way you can approach it.
And I think also to add, LeBron is 36. I retired at 36. I'm still amazed he looks like he's 26, playing at an unbelievable level. What I saw him endure during the bubble, that's not ordinary.
No, Steph is the same age as I am, and I try and jog a lap around the neighborhood.
And I'm looking at
watching what Steph's doing. Like, are you kidding me?
If I would have been out,
y'all are old. That's why. I played until I was 40.
Yeah.
And I just look at how he's come back from injury, LeBron, that last game. I said, there's no rust. I mean, there's some timing things, but there's no rust. That's just a commitment to how he still loves the game, how much he still wants to win, and what he was doing while he was out. I take my hat off to him.
You did say, though, Sam, that a lot changed depending upon the lineup that the Lakers did put on the floor all season long, before, after Anthony Davis.
And he was just so average, though, to start the season. After how he played in the bubble, and then the way he started the season, he was just so average.
Do you think, though, as you look at these numbers, just in the last 5 games, that AD's back to being AD?
Yes, he's back to what he was in the bubble. That's what's scary. And the thing about it, he's rested. Think about all the games he and LeBron that missed. Yeah, they had injuries, but they don't have the wear and tear on the legs. And more importantly, their mind is fresh. They're hungry to play. Everybody, did you see Charlotte last night? Charlotte just looked like it was just a struggle. They would look like they were physically and mentally beat up. The Lakers' 2 best players, they're fresh. They're ready to go. They're mentally fresh. You think about Golden State, look at the war that they've been through this year. Look at all the tough games. Look what Steph has had to do. And then you're telling Steph you got to do it again tonight, or if it don't work tonight, you got to come back another day from now and do it again to try to make the playoffs.